we are gathering in this very important event in International Expert Dialogue on Mountain People and Climate Change. Mountains are our precious assets, supporting to the lives and livelihood of people living in mountain, hills, tarai and the coastal areas. However, climate change is creating challenges to the entire globally, irrespective of continent, region, zone and locality. Both mountain and coastal countries and their people are facing multiple crises of temperature rise, erratic rainfall, drought and desertation, landslide, floods, inundation, forest fire, glacier melting and sea rise level. Climate change is a diabetes to our mother nature, but it can be cured through our proactive and urgent actions. Let me recall the recent visit of Honorable UN Secretary General Guterres in Annapurna region, where he has stressed the need for the world to urgently consider the threat of climate change for the mountain ecosystem and mostly the mountain livelihoods, culture and traditions. Gandaki province is naturally gifted with rich biodiversity, wetland, running water, mountains and rich culture. However, our region is among the most impacted by climate change. We have witnessed extreme weather events and unimaginable scale of climate-induced loss and damage. The recent flash flood and climate havoc in Manang and Mustang are the clear but bitter reality of visible climate change impacts. Also, we have witnessed the negative impacts of climate change in our infrastructure. Let me draw your attention to the massive loss and damage to hydropower and development infrastructure due to the climate extreme events and disasters in recent years. We need more urgent actions and mostly resource flowing to the sub-national government and respond effectively to the impact of climate change. Let me reiterate our commitments. Moving further ahead, it's now time to call for saving and protecting mountain from climate change effects. I urge all the international experts to focus on the blue and green economy sectors, which will be the immense opportunity to address the impacts of climate change and also offer solution to climate change. Finally, I wish the international experts dialogue will provide clear roadmap and lay out concrete pathways for the climate solution. Thank you.
We are very happy to welcome our very delighted guest, Honorable Minister Sabir Hussain Chaudhary for Environment, Forest and Climate Change of Bangladesh and Honorable Yonchen Phunso, Minister for Agriculture and Livestock, Rural Government of Bhutan. Your Excellencies kindly accept our welcome. I welcome Honorable Minister of Federal Parliament who have paid keen interest on climate change. I would like to welcome all the dignitaries in the dais who has contributed and supported us to a large extent. I also extend my sincere welcome to our esteemed international guests. I would like to welcome to Chair of the UNFCCC subsidiary body of scientific and technological advice, Special Representative of the President of the Kyrgyz Republic on mountain issue, Hana Hamdi, Chair of the Public Service Commission of the Royal Government of Bhutan, Director General of ISIMOD and Intergovernmental Organizations, Director General of International Big Cat Alliance, Global Coordinator of Mountain Partnership, and all the participants. I would like to welcome all experts, keynote presenters, moderators, panelists, and speakers in the event. I heartily welcome to all participants who accepted our request and participated in this August gathering. Honorable Chair and Excellencies, mountains are the nature-gifted avenues and amenities. They are not only property of Himalayan countries, but also the property of entire world. All of us know that climate change is creating challenge to the entire globe, irrespective of the continents, regions, zones, and locality. The effects on mountains are severe and critical. Both mountains and island countries and their people are facing multiple crises of temperature rise, erratic rainfall, drought and desertification, landslides, floods, inundation, forest fire, glacier melting, sea rise level, and many more challenges. The effect of climate change are equally witnessed to downstreams. This has created challenge to people who live in the area and downstream to it. The challenges that adverse effects are observed in the culture, agriculture, biodiversity, economy, tourism, and livelihood of the people. I would like to recall the 37th conference of the EFAO for Asia and Pacific recommended to support country-specific financial investment plan tailored to the specific context of each country, including high mountain and Himalayan countries, and continue facilitating private sector engagement in agricultural food system transformation in line with the EFAO strategy. Moving further ahead, it's now time to call for saving and protecting mountains from climate change effects. In this connotation, Government of Nepal organized this dialogue with broad issue concerning mountains, peoples, and climate change. We think the voice raised in this dialogue represents the voice of the mountainous countries and the downstream countries. This dialogue on mountain people and climate change is carried out with the following objectives: develop a shared platform group of mountain partnership to raise awareness of mountain vulnerability to climate change, promote collaboration for common understanding and proposition of the mountain countries, and give mountain communities their due attention in international and regional processes. Explore and exchange knowledge, research, and innovative solutions for adapting to climate change, addressing loss and damage to mountain peoples. Share value and promote multilateralism, collaborations, and partnership concerning technology transfer, capacity development, and climate finance for mountainous nations and downstream nations and their inhabitants. We want to generate additional resources in terms of finance and technologies. This two-day dialogue will be centered around three broad themes: climate, science, and evidence from mountain and beyond, mountain solutions, common ground and common understanding, and mountain prospective, resources and opportunities, and 9 sessions. Excellencies and participants, we welcome your valuable contributions, expertise, and knowledge to make this event successful. The outcome of this dialogue will synthesize our knowledge that will help to address our common and interlinked issues. We hope this will help to streamline our voices in the upcoming UNFCCC expert dialogue on mountain and climate change, and take additional decision on mountain and amplifying the finance and adaptation target for common benefits. I welcome all media persons and request to convey the message to all stakeholders for better outcomes. Finally, I welcome everyone and active participant for making this dialogue successful. I wish you a pleasant stay in spiritual, beautiful, and historic place of Chandragiri here in Chandragiri. Thank you. Namaste.
This week, as we gather here to celebrate the historic achievement of the inclusion of issues of mountains in the outcome texts of COP28 in Dubai, we are also here to discuss and chart out way forward for addressing the challenges faced by mountains and to recognize the critical roles of mountains in addressing the climate change. The climate teams of Nepal, Kyrgyzstan, and Bhutan deserve a special mention for this achievement in Dubai. Honorable Prime Minister, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, while Bhutan is proud to be the world's first carbon negative country, achieving this status entailed difficult choices, foregoing numerous economic opportunities to tread the path of sustainable development. Our Constitution mandates maintaining 60% forest cover to ensure sustainable ecosystem services and to fulfill our commitment to remain carbon neutral forever. These are proud achievements in our global climate commitment to move towards net zero. However, as we live in an interdependent world, the efforts and sacrifices of a single country or a group will not be able to drive significant impacts in our fights against climate change. Even under the best case scenario, wherein global warming is limited to 1.5 degrees centigrade, projections indicate that 1/3 of the glaciers in the Hindu Kush Himalayan region will disappear by 2100. As a country with over 98% of our land covered by mountainous terrain, the alarming annual retreat of our glaciers by 13 to 23 meters poses significant risks to our nation. This rapid melting not only imperils our glaciers, but also increases the risk of glacial lake outburst floods, posing devastating threats to the lives and livelihood of communities both in the mountains and further downstream. Climate change also threatens to undo Bhutan's environmental milestones in the areas of biodiversity conservation. My immediate thought therefore goes to that of the fate of charismatic snow leopards that roam our mountains and have played critical role in regulating the mountain ecosystem as a keystone species. While other species at the lower elevations may adapt and shift upwards, the snow leopard, dependent on glaciers and snow, faces the risk of extinction. Honorable Prime Minister, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, this dialogue comes at an opportune time for securing our majestic mountain ecosystem, and the next 2 days should yield significant inputs for the mountain roadmap and the strategy for Bonn 2024 and beyond. Therefore, the Royal Government of Bhutan urges all countries and stakeholders to recommend concrete outcomes that are sustainable and would strengthen the resilience of these ecosystems. Our discussions here in Kathmandu should create linkages to the UAE framework for global climate resilience to take mountain agendas forward with targets on ecosystems and mountains to drive action on mountain issues, and the role of mountains in transboundary adaptation and international cooperation. Bhutan, in partnership with everyone here, seeks once again to echo that next month's Bonn dialogue must lead to an inclusive roadmap, leaving no one behind in the process. And we reiterate our call for a separate work program on mountains and climate change. The fight against climate change, as I said earlier, cannot be won without protecting mountain ecosystems, as these mountains act as a giant carbon sinks. Their degradation would accelerate global warming, creating domino effect of environmental disasters, both for the mountains and the downstream ecosystems. Therefore, we must all act with sense of urgency and resolve. In conclusion, as we, politicians, policymakers, and experts gather here, immersed in technicalities and negotiation narratives, I wish to end my statement with the poem of my 11-year-old son, one among millions who call these mountains home. I quote, "Majestic peaks that touch the sky, guardians of earth standing high, homes to cultures old and grand, nourishing every arid land, we must protect their towering grace, for in their strength our future lies," unquote. So with this, I would once again like to take this opportunity on behalf of the Royal Government of Bhutan, as well as my delegations here to sincerely thank the Honorable Prime Minister and his government here in Nepal for hosting this very important dialogue here. And likewise, I like to take this opportunity to wish everyone gathered here who are participating here in this dialogue a very fulfilling 2 days dialogue. So thank you so much, Tashi Dalek, and Namaste.